Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Van Orn and this is another Dragonheir Silent Scout video. We are back to the test server today with the second of the Chaos Shadow bosses. I've already done a guide on Ascetius with champions from the Lightning, and today we're going to take on Rook, the exclusive from the Corrosion Affinity, which is a boss in this rotation Season 4, and we're going to have a look at him, what he does very quickly, and what comms we can run. I'm going to be trying to be very quick on the comms because we have a lot to talk about on this one. So let's have briefly a look at what this boss does. He takes more damage from Radiance, and so you have to bring your good DPS of those affinity, being Aura or Rally. And he has basically a quite annoying passive, but doesn't really do a lot of damage because it puts on a little bit of corrosion on you of every 0.5 second, the corrosion build up, but it doesn't really kill your champions. This is probably Asphalta passive that they brought over here, but it's really not doing much. The annoying part is a little bit this battle skills, because you're basically gonna hit champions on the same line, so you need to be careful to not have two champions on the same line that you don't want them to be hit, or you can use two champions on the same line to try to drive that hit where you want. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. This will repeat twice, and is probably one of the skills that do more damage, and so you need to be careful how you're dealing with it. And then he has an ultimate that doesn't hit diamond shape, so we can drive that one where we want as well. So don't worry, we're gonna see how to do that as well. The accuracy is the same for the same bosses. Rotation is 18 seconds, and we're gonna have a look at few comps. Let's start though from some free to play composition. The first one we're gonna have a look at is a rally comp that I call free to play, but really is easy accessible with Ardred. I hope you got her from season 2. And this is the comp we're gonna run. And this is the positioning you need to run if you want to run this comp. We're gonna have Ardred, our tank, that's gonna take basically most of the hit and heal the front line in particular, and then she's gonna share that defense and the stats when she does the ultimate. And when we reach 10 stacks of her ultimate, we're gonna use Edjo over here. He's gonna run up and be on the side of the boss, and you're gonna see that in a minute. So he's not gonna be on the same line of Ardred, and so he's not gonna be hit by the battle skills. We're gonna use Iola for the decreased defense and increase attack, basically from the 0 set, and 2 DPS on the range. Actually 1 DPS being Welby, a rare build for damage. And then we're gonna use all this over here because we want to have the attack aura, and we want to be sure to give rally basically to everyone. Is one of the best to do this. Tatlin is the other options. I find all this a little bit more useful for this sort of comp, but you can definitely use Tatlin as well. You just have to be careful. You can probably move the Witch's Remain if you want, but having Iola over here is not really necessary. So very quickly, I'll show you the timing, even if it's very not so finicky to put together at the moment. I just left pretty much everyone free. I put them on an 18 rotation because they get some boost on the ultimate when they do their ultimate, and I want them to stay basically on the same rotation always, every single time. And therefore that's the timing really. The rest of the ability happens when they want. I'm using the timing over here, and we're gonna run it over here. As you can see, Edjo is gonna run on the side, and let me put it on 2 speeds so you can appreciate when the little rats are gonna run in. And it's gonna happen right now, and you can see only Ardred get hit and nobody else. This comp goes all the way to the ends of the fight, 5 minutes fight, and it can bring you 34 million roughly. And so it's a good starting point. It's very accessible, only using Ardred over here. Obviously, I'm assuming that you've been able to get it for season 2 because she's an absolutely amazing champion. So 34 million is our starting point, and obviously we can build up on this comp. But before jumping on the build ups on the rally comp, I want to show you also Rook free to play aura team, which is basically composed by similar or equivalent champions on the other affinity. Now, the principle of the building of this comp is the same. Ardred is going to be here. She's going to run up to the boss. And Clovis, because he's on the side, is going to run on the side of the boss. And so he's not going to be hit by the battle skills, the 2 battle skills. The other champions are placed in a way that they are not going to be hit by, because they're not on 2 lines, and the ultimate is always going to hand on this area over here, not hitting our range because of this placement. Don't use the back line because they tend to run out 1 line, and just be careful to place it exactly as I show over here, or mirrored basically, and it will do the same. So we are using also here an attack aura. This time it's from our Naruzilla, and she's built for damage too. She can do surprisingly good damage. I was actually surprised how much damage this champion can do, because she joined basically the other champions, so you make her go first, and then she will hit back again when the others, if you spray them out 2 seconds apart, basically. I put them at 19.5 because I want them to stay in rotation at the same time again. And let me just jump in and show you what is the beginning of this fight. As you can see, Clovis goes on the side. It does a very good job in stretching out the timing a little bit. Placing the decrease attack, unfortunately, is not a multi-hit, and so the decrease defense, as you can see, not always land. And that is a little bit of a problem. You can move the decrease defense on Naruzilla if you want to be more sure to have it up full fight, or you can just run this fight more times. It's for free really, and we have the 10 times speed right now, so you can just run it over and over until you get a result you like. This comp over here can do up to 42 millions, which is 8 millions above what I've been able to get with a free-to-play rally team. And therefore, if you are on a budget and you have only epics and Ardrit, I would suggest you try to go for the aura. Also because you can possibly split this champions up in 2 comps when we get to the Otherworld exploration. We're going to have the bonus that we get from the clans, and so that will make our life easier, and getting 22 millions with 2 comps with this DPS is going to be much easier. Let me stop this one too, and let's make another step up and see what we can do with more mid advanced comp. And so the next one up is going to be the aura mid, called mid, but it's really only changing out our Clovis for Fathom down. So it was going to basically put up a decreased defense for longer. We are going to be sure to have the decreased defense up every single time. But there are other options, obviously, for the decreased attack. The problem with this one is that the melee aura champions from Epic and Rare are not so good. And so you're losing a bit of damage if you bring it on a melee, and so I've been placing it basically like this. The placement is the same. I've done pretty much the same. You can keep it on the same line, or you can put him over here. They're still going to survive the entire fight. Fathom Down is going to go on the side. If instead you place it like this, what is happening is they're going to be on the same line, but they're still not going to die, and you go all the way up to the 5 minutes. And this comp is able to do up to 49 million. Which is a very good result, and compared to the other rally that we saw before, it's definitely much better. So as you can see, it's pretty much the same. The gear was the same, so I'm not going to waste too much time on timing and anything. It's just swapping out an epic decrease attack single hit for a multi-hit. Legendary, making it slightly more efficient really, and as I said, the best placement is probably this one over here, when Fathom Down is going to run on the side and not get hit that much, so you can push even more damage on his build and maybe even go over that 49 million that I've shown you. The next champion, well, the next comp up is going to be my Radiant mid-range, which is basically the same, but I've just brought a bit heater over here. And as you can see, it's the same build again. We place in the champion the same way. We have the same layouts. The timing going to be pretty much the same. And this comp, unfortunately, even with a DPS from the legendary category, has not been able to beat my aura with those epic DPS. And we're only settling up for 44 million, just below 45 really. And this comp, it's quite disappointing. I was expecting a little bit more from Huber, which is a massive heater usually. For some reason, with the Epic, it's really difficult to enable Rally. And so, till this point, really, if you can, you should run Aura. But now we're getting to the strongest comp, and there things are about to change. Because obviously, if you have a good enabler for the Rally, you're gonna be able to do way more damage. I've done over here a little test by bringing Laurentiel, Fathom Down, Ardred, Hulberg, and Filto. And this team over here, with the same timing as before, with the attack aura, everything as usual, with the team place in this situation, is able to do up to 69 million, which is a all high so far for my comps, and is a score that I'm not going to be able to beat with other comps, but I'm going to still show you other situation. So this one again is going to be with 2 melee, one running on the side, one stay on the front, hit it like that, or if you place it like this, both get hit. Really doesn't make a lot of difference. 69 million, it's a nice result, and we can compare it to our sort of, I've named it OP, but it's not really OP, with the comps when we bring, for example, a legendary DPS in Shala, the new champions for season 4. She does good damage, but she doesn't have damage really the epic. She is not going to be able to have damage TOA for some reason, even if I give her the best gear. And the result with this comp is going to be only 54 million. So there's not a massive increase from the use of only 3 epic. Unfortunately, this doesn't bring a lot of advantage. And I've tried also, lastly, for the last comp we're going to see today, and I'm going to leave you with this, otherwise we're going to stay here all day, to run basically a comp with 3 melee, over being 2 tanks on the front and 1 DPS melee on the side. This comp as well can run all the way up to 5 minutes with an attack aura. The 2 range are going to be placed over here, and if we run it, as you can see, the 2 melee, the 2 tanks are going to be on the front, the melee DPS is going to go on the side, the mouse are only going to hit the 2 tanks, and so our DPS is going to be safe most of the fight. The only damage is going to take is going to be from the ultimate that lands in this area over here, and she's going to do pretty much a lot of damage, but still not enough to beat our rally team. And so the overall damage with this comp is going to be 64 million, at least for what I've been able to try with the gear I have. And I'm quite disappointed because obviously we're using exclusive legendary over here, and I'm sure that if I was using exclusive legendary from the rally and I was pushing a little bit more on the OP champions up there, bringing the melee as we're doing over here, I will be able to get even more damage from the rally comp. This is not necessary because, as we've already seen, 69 millions will be more than enough, and if you have Laurentiel, you're probably going to be able to bring whoever you want and do a lot of damage because you go so quick. It's so fast that your damage is going to go really, really high. So this is everything for this boss guide. I hope this guide has been useful for you so you can settle your target for this boss. You can understand how much damage you can do. Build your champion correctly for the boss when you're going to hit the live server in a few days. And this is everything for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe and help the channel. And I'm going to see you soon with another video about Dragonheir Silence God.